Hey everybody, it's Cory and Rhonda with Utah Dream Properties and Keller Williams. Today we're coming to you to talk about real estate Q&A.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
Okay, so today we wanted to come to you with some frequently asked questions that some of our clients have had lately, and chances are if they've had those questions, you probably do too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
A big question that everybody asks, can the values hold, or is there going to be, is there a bubble?
Right, is the market going to crash? It's all basically the same question. So we've been saying this for really the last several years. It's really interesting. Back in 2018, we had several potential buyers that said the market is just way too high. I'm going to wait for it to crash. Right. Those homes that were maybe 250 to 300 at that time are now well over 400. So unfortunately, they're priced out of the market just based on what the market's been doing. And really interesting to note that after COVID happened, because we were all thinking, okay, 2020, we've been on a run for many, many years. It's going to level off a little bit. And then COVID hit and things absolutely shot up. Reason being, we've got so many more people coming to Utah. Everything is really supply and demand, right? Yeah. So when we've got so many more people coming to Utah and we've got so much demand for the homes that we have built now, prices, I just see them continuing to go up.
Right, and all the economists are saying that they'll continue to rise. They don't know at what pace. We've been kind of doing a meteoric raise. They think it'll not be that, but it's still going to raise value. And the reason for that, like you said, is we've got the demand, yeah. Right? So that's a big deal. And it's not just us saying that. We do research with economists and such. They're all saying that, hey, there's not a big bubble out there. Salaries have also gone up. And so now our values are able to hold.
Yep, and not only that, we've always had people coming to Utah, but then after COVID hit, there's so many people now that can work remotely. So they're looking around saying, well, where do I want to live if I can live anywhere? And they choose here. So again, our values, that's increased our values. And we've seen it both on the listing side and the buying side. When we list a home, we typically have multiple offers, and I would say probably half of them are from out of state. So it's not just us guessing what's happening in the market, we're seeing it ourselves. And as far as if values are going to hold, again, that kind of answers that question. We think they will. A lot of people are saying it's going to level off a little bit, but we don't see them going back down to what they were before things started climbing. So if you are looking, or you were looking at a $300,000 house that's now $450 or $500, and you're thinking, I'm just going to wait until it goes back down and then I'm going to grab it, we just don't think that's going to happen.
No. No. So that brings us to our next one, which is a good segue into, is it a good time to buy or sell?
Interestingly enough, it's both, depending on your situation. And the reason we say that is for selling, depending on how long you've owned the property, you probably have a lot of equity in it. And for buying, interest rates, if you haven't bought a house yet, it probably hasn't sunk in yet. But when you see the charts for where the interest rates can be and what you can afford, it's just a humongous difference. I think we've talked about this in other videos. When we bought our first house, our interest rate was 7.25, and we were told that was a good rate. And we were all excited signing the papers, and now I can't even imagine.
Yeah, the national average since back in the 80s is actually 8.3, something like that. So,
and we've been in the 2s and 3s for a long time. We're in 2s and 3s now.
So money is super cheap right now.
Yeah, I remember when it first hit 4, everybody was saying that was absolutely crazy, and we've never seen anything like it. And now we see buyers in the 2s. So if you're looking to buy or sell, it really can be a good time for both, depending on your situation.
Yeah, buyers are happy because it's cheap to borrow money, and sellers are happy because there's a lot of demand. And then there has been some more product come onto the market lately too. So everybody's very happy right now. It's a pretty interesting time in history of real estate. Right.
So right now it's September of 2020. Back in the beginning of the summer, there were a couple days there we didn't even have 2,000 listings in all of the Utah Wasatch Front MLS, which was insane. And that has gone up dramatically since then. So even though we have a lot more inventory, we still do have multiple offers. It's just not.
Sure.
We typically don't see 20 offers anymore. We might see 4 or 5 in that range.
So that's good. So one other thing that we hear sometimes is, well, hey, this house, 2 years ago was whatever amount, and now it's this much. So does it really matter what someone paid?
No, and it's hard to get that, to really absorb that, because I know what that feels like, and I'll explain that. Cory and I look in other markets to purchase as well. We own homes out of state, and we're looking in a market right now that I'm seeing people sell things, or they've sold things for, let's say, $400, and now it's listed for $900. And I see that, and the only reason I know that is because they happen to be in a disclosure state. Utah's a non-disclosure, so typically you're not going to know what somebody paid, but you may be able to glean from what the market was doing. Oh, they probably bought that for $300 and now they're selling it for $500. They're so greedy. It's not that at all. It's really, that's what the market's doing. And if the numbers still make sense, you kind of have to throw that out the window. Right. And like I said, I know that's hard to do because when we're on the buying side, I'm like, that's ridiculous. Did they really make $400,000 in a year? But if that's what supply and demand shows, and if our numbers still make sense, then we have to just disregard what they paid for it.
And values are still going up. So it's okay because you get into it and then you have that equity when you go to sell it in 2 to 5 years, whatever. So those are a couple of questions that we had from our clients, and we wanted to make sure that we got that information out to you guys.
If you have any other questions, always feel free to reach out to us. We're super accessible. You can text us, call us, email us, whatever you prefer. We'd love to get back to you and answer any questions that you have about the Utah market.
Remember, our information is down below. Please like and subscribe to this. Bree works hard putting this thing out for you guys every week. We really want to see how many people are watching us. And don't forget, ask us whatever questions you have.